It's the final frontier, everybody. Introducing the Lego Star Trek Enterprise. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a hype rumor, though. I've always said that I wanted an Enterprise and said that Lego should do that. I think Mega Constructs had the license for that. This is completely off topic now. What do I mean by the final frontier? Well, it's not really the final frontier because there's always more that we can do with Lego shelving here in the studio. But I've been meaning to take care of this project for quite some time. And that project involves putting more shelves in the Lego shelving rooms. So I've got a half Billy bookcase right here. I just built that, slapped it together pretty quickly. I've got quite a bit of experience with building those. That's going to go in that room over there, and then I've got another shelf for right there, and that's currently laying on the floor. Now this one I'm a bit skeptical about because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hit studs, because there's two holes at the top right here, and if it magically lines up with studs, I'll be pretty happy. But the odds of that happening are very low. But you can use drywall anchors, so it should be all good. The problem is I forgot my drywall anchors at home. So we'll see how I go about hanging that. In order to hang that shelf, I've got to remove the other shelf that I recently installed, which is up there. It has all the Lego Star Wars construction figures, so I've got to get all those down and remove that shelf. Those are a nuisance to stand up perfectly like that, and they're all standing up beautifully, but we'll have to undo that. And then I've got to see if I can hit studs with this thing. I guess I better do that first. I'm not excited about it, but I'm excited about the end result. It's going to be incredible to have another shelf right there, just finishing this wall, and then we're going to put another shelf in here, and then we got to move a bunch of Lego. So welcome to another Lego Studio shelving update. Let's get started. First off, we've got to note the temperature here. Oh my goodness. I've got to get out there and shovel, I guess. The snow is attacking the studio. Thank goodness for this radiant heater here. It is just blasting down heat. Oh, it feels like the sun. Oh, I could just bathe in it all day. It's so nice. You know what? Actually, Mrs. Bricksie and I are going somewhere warm tomorrow. This is the last thing that I wanted to get done before we left on vacation. We're going somewhere warm for a week. I'm excited about it because it's blasted cold out there. Like it's -30. Like conveniently, last week it was warm. The week that we're leaving, it's freezing. So that was really well timed. I'm gonna get like a sunburn from this thing though. It's so nice. It like warms up all the objects throughout the studio. Like right now, this surface is so warm, and then those objects, they stay warm and they radiate heat. So it barely ever turns on. It does a great job of heating up this whole place and keeping it warm in a very efficient way. So no regrets there. Super cool. I am so off topic. I tend to do that. I'm sorry. So what I did was just lay down all the figures on top. This is the lazy man route here, rather than take them all down. And now I'm gonna try and move this shelf with the figures on it. Go figure. Okay. Jose, can you grab this for me? Oh no, she's not here. Hey, that worked out. That seemed a lot easier. Work smarter, not harder. Perfect. So I've got like a really weird tile baseboard. You see that? It comes off the wall quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is actually rest this shelf on top of that tile baseboard, and then I'm going to secure it at the top. IKEA is funny. These are the screws that they gave me to secure it to the wall. It's like, really? Those couldn't hold very much or won't hold very much. They're tiny. So I'm going to replace them with some larger screws. Now I know for a fact that we're going to have a stud to screw into around the door frame, because that's just like the casing of the door. So for sure there will be a stud there, and I'm gonna have to see if there's gonna be a stud that lines up with the next hole. Could you imagine if there was? That would just be magical. So I know we're sort of getting a little bit construction vlogish here, but this is like part of my Lego journey at least, and I think a lot of people are interested in seeing what kind of shelving we use here in the studio and just in general, right? So I think it's worth showcasing here. I'm just so curious to know if this is going to work out. Now, another nice thing is I don't even need to make sure that this thing is level because it is going to sit right on that baseboard and it's going to go right up against the door frame. So like I don't even care if that's not level because whatever. It looks like it's square, right? And I think that's all that really matters. So yeah, I've just got to screw this thing in here. Oh, I left my screws over there. Convenient. So I can confirm that this screw 1000% hit a stud. My drill was like, making all those awesome impact noises. What are the odds, everybody? What are the odds? Oh no, are you serious? Oh, what? No way. Are you kidding me? That never happens. What? That is so incredible. Are you kidding me? Has anyone had anything like that ever happen before? Because I know I sure haven't. Oh, it didn't hit a stud. But the stud finder said there was a stud there. And well, either way, it feels like that's not really going anywhere, but I guess I need an anchor. But the stud finder said there was a stud there. Aww, enjoyment has been shattered. Maybe if I put it at an angle, it'll hit a stud. Aha! Behold, look at that. It even comes with the drill bit. Well, that is going to be super easy. Nice. See, I figured it would be best to have it right up against the door frame and also sitting on that tile baseboard because it's helping support the weight. And it sort of looks like it's floating now. And it was super easy to secure at the top. There is a little bit of a gap here. So I'm going to have to move this shelf over an inch so it's right up against it. And then I'll move this shelf over an inch as well. And that one. So the gap will be near the window, so you won't really see it. The issue is I'm going to have to whip out my saw and my painter's tape and cut this shelf an inch because it fit between the cabinets. So if I move them all over, well, the shelf has got to be shortened. So I'll have to do that. Won't take long. And then I put this here and I've got to screw this shelf in so it's flush with the others. So I've got to drill through and use the connectors that I got for free from the parts area at IKEA. And then we can put Lego in it. Yeah, that's when the fun begins. So I can actually cut this shelving with my miter saw inside. I know, it's gonna be a lot of sawdust, but this actually has this thing right here, which sucks up the majority of the sawdust, so that's pretty cool. It looks like it needs to be emptied though. And I've got my tape there and my cut line, and the light on this saw is pretty cool because you can see the shadow of the blade, so it's sort of like the cut line, and extends right out, so I can cut a 12-inch piece of shelving with this saw. I don't have to use the table saw or the skill saw. I can simply use this, and it's way quicker, way more efficient, and it's just bam, straight line, no question about it. See, look at that, voila. No chipping, nothing. Super clean cut. You wouldn't even be able to tell the difference from the factory edge and the cut edge. So it works out. Now, hopefully I just measured twice and cut once. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make a tiny cut and it might not come out as clean. I did measure twice, so that's good. Now there is this gap right here, and I've got to figure out a way to fill this gap, I also need to figure out a way to support this. A lot of people told me just to put some filler melamine in here so that you build it up so it's the same height as the top of the door frame, and then just have the back of the shelf chill on the door frame. But then I've also got to figure out the math here. I don't know, everybody. That might be future Brixie's problem, because I'm trying to go somewhere warm. It's already 4:30 and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I don't know what to do there. That would involve a lot of cuts and stuff, and I don't know. What I could do is I could buy a single one of these and I could put it on top. So it's like double ply, and then whatever that comes up to. So we have this thickness here. So it's double ply, because you can buy these individually. They're like the small floating shelves. And then put a single ply of melamine or whatever it might be on top of the small half-billy bookcases. Maybe, just maybe, the math will work out and then it floats, but then I'm still not on top of the door frame. So I think if we build it up all the way to the top of the door frame, it's going to look like a big block. It's going to look sort of ugly. There's going to be like this big white chunk on either side, and I think it won't look as good. But I definitely need to fill the gap there, because that doesn't look good. Of course, I could raise this up, but once again, I want it to sit on that baseboard. I think that's more important. So I think I'm gonna go with the status quo for now. But I'm just gonna load it up, and I'm gonna leave all these finesse touches once I get back from good old Mexico. I won't lie, I'm sort of eager to leave work for the day, but I'm also eager to load up these shelves, because I've got the perfect idea for this right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves. Guess what? There's 12 Lego Star Wars helmets. Woo! I am pretty happy with that. That's perfect. There's 12 of them, 2 per shelf. Right on. Darth and the Stormy. We got Clone Commander Cody, Captain Rex, TIE Fighter Pilot, AT-AT Driver, the Mandalorian and Dark Trooper, Scout Trooper and Boba Fett with the missing rangefinder, and also Luke Skywalker and Boosh. Yeah, missing rangefinder. I recently had to scavenge from him, but my plan is to rebuild it. Don't worry. That looks good, doesn't it? Oh yeah. All right, let's put all the figures up there. What's the solution for these guys? They don't like to stand. Like, for example, Rey. Okay, she stands pretty good. Maybe Phasma, though. Yeah, doesn't stand. Well, I used the 2x2 modified plates with the upward Technic pin on some random old school off-brand chopped up base plates. Bam! Now they stand. You don't got to worry about them falling over. But my work smarter, not harder philosophy didn't work, because I had to cut the shelf. Time to put them back. All right, woohoo! That looks sick. I'm so happy with that. My vision, it came through. I had this vision a long time ago. I was like doing the measurements. I was looking up the IKEA products to try and fill in the gap around the door, because this never used to be there. But then I measured and measured and measured and figured out that we needed a half billy, another half billy, we needed a lac floating shelf, and then needed to bridge it across the top with the custom piece of cut shelving. And now it looks awesome. The only thing we need to figure out once again is that gap there, and I also need to screw this cabinet into this PAX unit, but you can see the gap is very significant. So when I screw that in, there's going to be a big gap on the bottom. It's going to lean, so I need to cut some shims and get that all fixed up. But I may as well take care of all of that once I actually know what I'm doing on the top there, what I'm going to do to support this shelf. Luckily, those figures are pretty light, so it's not going to warp the shelf or anything, and if it does, you can fix it. And how I'm going to deal with that top of the door frame there. But really happy with the outcome of that. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. Like those helmets there, sweet. Now we also have all this space right here. So there's a ton of space for other Lego Star Wars stuff. Every time I go to IKEA, though, they don't have the blasted shelves for the full billy units. I don't know if it's just like my luck of, well, not my luck, I have pretty good luck, but my luck of when I'm there, they don't have them in stock. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we need more for those units. So yeah, we've got to deal with that at some point. What am I going to put here? Also, we need more shelves for this one here, but what am I going to put there? I don't know. Like, what theme should I move there? Maybe the botanicals for now. Botanicals are up there. I don't know. We sort of had a bigger plan for those. We also have this space here, so we've got to figure out what we're going to do. I'm trying to think. What would you do? What would you put there? What theme? I need to know. I'm writing a book and I need to know. I feel like Avatar is very similar to pineapple on pizza. People either hate it or they love it. Personally, I love it. Great films. I also love pineapple on pizza. Ham and pineapple, Hawaiian, terrific. Never get to eat it because Mrs. Bricksie doesn't like it. But I think these sets look great in the small billy. Like, that is way better. Now they're actually presentable and I have enough to fill the entire billy. Now I love these sets, but there's something that I don't like about them. The fact that they're not cohesive builds. They drive me nuts. I love the scene that you get and like the different vegetation that you get and all the different like part varieties and colors and glow in the dark elements and all that. But it very easily turns into this because these things, like, they clip together. They're meant to be like modular. I wish they were more so like a fixed diorama, just because these components, they move around and they break so easily. But there you go. We've got Torok Muktau, the Banshees, the Tree of Souls, this really cool plane that you would think Lego would never make because it's like a fighter plane, helicopter. Yeah. And then some of the other stuff involved in that. Now we've got this entire Billy bookcase open, but no shelves. Boo! But hey, you know what? Just because you have limited shelves doesn't mean you can't build an epic display. Luckily for me, Lego sets come in all different shapes and sizes. I had a pretty cool setup upstairs there, but I decided to bring the setup downstairs. What do you think? Spaceship! And Mac. Checking them all out. I think that looks pretty good. I think it worked out. Now we've got all the space sets on one cabinet. You can just see them. It's going to change up the display. It frees up all that space upstairs so I can put something different up there. And I'm making my lunch. Maybe I'm tired of seeing spaceships. Maybe I'll put the Eiffel Tower up there or something. Now that would be insane. I don't know if I trust that top that I have over top of the furnace there. But hey, I think that looks fantastic. I'm really happy with it. I think that's the right call for now, at least. I think it's great because we've got all three tall sets paired up on the bottom. There's a lot of like negative space there, I guess. But we've got the Saturn V, we've got the Space Shuttle Adventure, I believe it's called. Also the Artemis Space Launch System. And then up here we have the Space Shuttle Discovery, the ISS, Apollo 11 lunar lander, the Hubble telescope, also this astronaut just sort of hanging out. That's a Creator 3-in-1 set. This one's sort of weird. You can't stand it upright. I had to like break out its dorsal fin, and it's like just barely enough. So it's not like I can put it on stilts or anything, but for now I think it looks better like that than on its landing gear or on its wheels. And then this guy, I had no spot for him on the Disney shelf, so I was like, oh yeah, let's just put him right there. Although I should pair him up with Lightning McQueen there. But there we go, everybody. Some fantastic display changes. I think that looks a lot more complete. Really happy with it. I guess I could disperse some stuff along the top there. I didn't screw this cabinet in yet. I'm going to do that when I go about making all of these other changes here, like finishing this project 100%, but I'm really happy that the vision came through on that. It looks amazing, and I'm happy I was able to get it done before I leave on vacation, to be honest with you. I've just been like chomping at the bit to get this done, and it's finally done. It looks great. Like, look at that shot right there. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. You know, we're getting more and more Lego sets all the time, and I think I've mentioned this in about 3 videos now. When these rooms fill up, the ultimate solution is to wrap shelving around and put shelving in front of that. Cut holes in the bottom, get the plastic curved things for your vents so it still blows warm air in here. It'll actually insulate the room because those windows that are freezing cold and frosted over, well, there'll be no draft from that. And we've got space to do it here too. This room would look the best because we don't have to worry about the door. So we could wrap it right around. Then this room would be bloody epic. It would be like that. There. I should just do it, but I don't have enough Lego sets to fill those shelves for now. But I will be doing that probably within the next year or two. Because look at all the space we have here. So there's still so much space. Like I have empty shelves right here that I've got to use yet. So yeah, and also all this space, right? And all the space in here. So tons. But yeah, happy I was able to get that done. Absolutely fantastic. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. And sorry that there's a random lid laying on the ground there. That doesn't look that good, does it? Peace out.